youtube.com/MayhewMayhem. That's youtube.com/MayhewMayhem.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I am your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I am here with my co-hosts.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg, and we are also joined by the man who puts the sub in submarine.
What's up, everybody? I'm Dale. And also joining us is a woman who seriously needs to get off the podcast and go make me a sandwich.
Hi, everyone. It's Raven.
Remember, 30 Minutes of Mayhem is available on iTunes. All you have to do is search MayhewMayhem. That's MayhewMayhem.
You can also donate to 30 Minutes of Mayhem via PayPal to help us become a better show. Just use the email address in the description, 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com.
What else do people do on Instagram?
I know, pick me.
What do people do on Instagram, Dale?
They take pictures of their new tattoos and put them on there.
I already said that once before, but Dale, next time you're on there, instead of posting a picture of your new tattoo that you just got, you should check out Poking the Fungus Photography, and you should follow them for some pretty sweet pictures, because, you know, she's responsible for my picture in the intro.
The first topic, do you feel education, aka K through 12 education specifically, is inadequate? In that I've actually been through all three forms of, I went to a private school from preschool to, I think it was the 5th grade or 6th grade, I can't remember. Then I was homeschooled from the 6th grade to the 9th, and then for the rest of my high school career, I went to public school. So I've actually been through all three of them. And to be perfectly honest, I would have to say that our education system is fucked. After being in public school and private school, I realized that I never actually really learned anything. Like, I mean, I learned a few basic things, but I never truly grasped a lot of things. Like, the only thing that I actually really learned was how to memorize things, and even that I didn't really feel like I learned that well. Another thing I learned was that people are dicks. That's another thing you learn from public and private school. One of the things that I always hear people say about private school, like when they're trying to make it seem better than public school, is that, you know, you wear uniforms at private school, so therefore kids won't pick on each other because of the clothes they wear and that, because, you know, since everybody, you know, fucking dresses the same, you know, there won't be as much shit for kids to pick on each other about. What that fails to take into account is that kids are assholes. They will find something to make fun of no matter what you do. If they can't make fun of you for the way you dress, which is one of the least hurtful things they can make fun of you about. They'll make fun of like the way you look, like how your hair is cut, what kind of music you listen to, who you hang out with, what you do at recess, like all sorts of stupid petty shit. So actually it takes away one of the least hurtful things they could make fun of you about. And not only that, but it seems to be a way to breed conformity with no real independent thought of your own. Basically, when I was homeschooled, I did a shit ton of reading, and I went to a lot of museums, and I honestly feel I learned a hell of a lot more from reading and going to museums than I did sitting in a classroom, a teacher drone on and on about stuff I didn't even really give a shit about.
People say that we need education reform. I agree if it's done properly, because you said you didn't learn a lot. I can say that I did learn a lot, but most of the information that I was taught is fucking useless right now. You know, high school, whatever, graduate when you're like 18. I'm 26 now. So a lot of the information that I learned in high school, middle school, does not apply to anything right now. Nothing.
No.
I was forced to learn information, regurgitate it, and now it's fucking useless and it takes up space in my mind that could be used for something else as far as I'm concerned. But there needs to be education reform in my opinion because they need to teach things, different things that they do not teach you, like, about a fucking mortgage, proper way to manage a fucking bank account. Stuff that's actually useful that almost everyone does. They don't teach you shit about how to manage a bank account. You may sit through one class period that tells you about how to write a check.
Yeah, I did in home ec.
Yeah.
One class, one day,
And
how to write a check.
exactly, and that's it, how to write a check, but no one teaches you about like money management, mortgaging, loans. No, they don't teach you shit about
Retirement
that.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
they don't teach you anything that everyone does. You're just basically thrust out into the world. If you're lucky, you're you're thrust out into the world. You don't know shit about banking. You're like, okay, I need to get a bank account so I can have money in there. And then they're like, okay, sign this contract. And you're like, okay, whatever. I need to put my money in here, so sign. Here you go. And then because you don't know shit about shit, they can charge you like fucking interest. If you have below X amount of money in your account, they can charge you a fee for that. And you're not taught about any of that. Yeah, you should have read the fine print. Yes, but that's not the point. I think the reform does need to happen. It's just a matter of what they do. Like some classes need to be gotten rid of because they are fucking pointless. Should you have to take basic math, science, and English classes? Yes, you absolutely should. But there is an extent. For instance, with us down here, we were taught a very, very little bit about government and economics. We spent a couple months talking about the government system and a couple months talking about economics, and that's it. I think there needs to be more education for people about the government and how the government works. Regardless of whether you choose to vote, you should know if you are voting about what you're voting about and not just like Christmas treeing the motherfucker and just picking shit here. No, you should know what you're voting on and you should understand how the system works. But more importantly, they should teach you how fucking bank account works, about how mortgages work, about how loans work, stuff like that. More about writing checks and doing banking, managing money, stuff that every person does. They don't teach you shit about that, and I think that needs to happen. I feel that yes, our education system is inadequate. Paying fucking bills. They don't teach you shit about paying bills.
I don't know how many times I still have to ask my mom and dad about doing shit.
Yeah, they don't teach you anything about paying fucking bills. It's just basically trial by fire, Like, good luck. And then, if you fuck up, you're in all kinds of debt. And then you work for 30 years to get out of the debt, It's stupid.
Yep. I remember the class we took back in high school about the whole writing resumes and stuff like that work. But you ever had a class where it teaches you how to write resumes and stuff like that?
I had probably like one or two class sessions in which they talked about writing resumes.
Yeah.
But never
Well, no,
like a
this was
class
their entire
focused on it.
class.
No, never had that class.
Yeah, and it fucking sucked so bad, and everybody was just like, I remember towards the end of class, she was just like, oh yeah, about maybe like a good 65-70% of you won't be doing this type of resume. Like, then what's the fucking point of this class then? Like, I don't know if it was one of those things to where they have to teach it as a requirement for the school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole reformatting the system, yeah, but it also, like, I agree with you guys, it depends on what. Like elementary school and middle school is somewhat necessary, due to the fact that you're still learning the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, elementary school, it's good for, kids to be around other kids, depending on what, but also,
You're hitting that puberty time period. There's a lot of change going on. But
yeah,
you need to learn like how to interact
yeah, and I
with other
remember the
human beings.
whole, yeah, and like how they teach the sex ed in that class and stuff like that. So I think that's good. High school was just straight garbage. Garbage.
I
I didn't learn
hated high
shit in that.
school.
I learned everything out of high school. And I'm still learning stuff because they don't teach
I
none of
hated
that.
high school so much. Oh my god, you don't even fucking know. Like everybody, I went to Big Red, which is, for those who don't know, well, actually no, you probably do know considering the rape case and everything, but Actually, that's a pretty good indication of what that school was like.
They tried to, the thing about that, they tried to downplay, you know what, we're not really targeting the entire school, it's just these select group of people, and I'm like, okay, except for the fact that it's like, the group of people involved with that is like, that size of that group, you know, whatever, 10, 15
is the
people.
vast majority of the people there.
It's the vast majority of the people there, and the people that are actually not like corrupt as shit is about the size of that group, like 10, 15, 20 people. The whole school system, all the way up to the fucking principal of the school, they're all corrupt as shit. So like that's our school was the same way. We had like reverse racism, if you will, football. The coach was black, and you were not a starter unless you were black. Unless you were the quarterback. The quarterback was like the only white starter on the team, and he didn't base it on skill. He based it on skin color. And our team sucked ass. And finally, when they got rid of him and they brought a coach in that didn't give a shit what color you were, and played you based on your skill and not like didn't play the politics of like it, you know, whatever your last name is, you know, similarity with the parents and the school system or your skin color. He didn't give a shit about any of that. He cared about how good the kid was, the skill level, and that's how he played him. And then our team turned around and did really, really good.
They actually are still continuing to do good. They've been making playoffs. I mean, they haven't gotten very far in the playoffs, but they've been making it to the playoffs.
Education as a whole needs to be reformed. This one-size-fits-all education that's going on now is leaving a lot of kids in the dark, and I was one of them. And my daughter's going to be one too, because the problem is they want to fit everybody into a mold. And if you don't learn the way the majority of the kids in the classroom learn, then you're fucked. There's different learning styles. Everybody has a different learning style. And if your learning style isn't just, I hear the information once and I memorize it and I remember and I can regurgitate it for that stupid test that they give you every year, then you're okay. But if you happen to be a person who needs to get your hands on stuff to learn about it, if you're a person who has to see representations of the information in order to remember it, then you're going to be left behind.
That's
And
this guy.
that's this gal right here and my daughter too.
Yeah, I'm a hands-on / visual learner. Like I would learn best if I watch someone do it and then I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it takes me a little bit. I just can't like watch. It depends. I mean, obviously, it depends on how skilled the work is.
Right.
So if somebody's like, "Hey, you know, do this," and I'm just like freaking the fuck out. I'm like, "Wait, what? Whoa, time out." But if they're like, "Hey, just do," sometimes they don't even have to tell me. They're just like working out on the plane. My first time doing, working on something. Yeah, we have a computer that shows us the instructions and everything, and it's even got pictures and arrows pointing. It's like, okay, you got to remove these, which is so much easier than the plane I used to work on. But now everything's all, by a computer. So it's so much easier. But if somebody walks out there and if I'm kind of stuck and there's just be like, all right, you're going to remove this, blah, 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 and, only a couple little things, I'm just like, bam, got it.
So that's where I think the reform needs to be. Rather than having the emphasis on forcing all the kids to memorize all the same facts to regurgitate for the test, and these tests are given to schools so that they can be placed in, which state is smarter or whatever, and so that schools can get their government grants. Kids have to pass these tests, and that's the whole reason they spend the whole entire year cramming information down your throat just so that you can pass these tests so that your school looks good. That's where the reform needs to be. Emphasis needs to be taken off those fucking tests and put back onto the children and learning the keys to figuring out how they learn and helping them do that in a way that benefits all of them instead of just the ones that can memorize shit. And teaching them how to think critically rather than, I have to look the answer up in a book because that's the only way I'm going to figure it out. That's retarded. Like, if you learn the right way, you can learn how to figure things out yourself. The reform needs to be taking the emphasis off those damn tests and put back on to helping the children themselves learn the information that they need to learn for life.
I have to agree but disagree with you at the same time. I am a supporter of standardized testing, but
Like the FCAT and stuff like that?
Yes, but standardized testing needs to be reformed itself. Because I know some people that I went to school with that should have never got out of high school, period. They should have never got a degree. I mean, well, a diploma, I mean. Florida calls it the FCAT. Once you get to high school, if you didn't pass a portion of it, like say you didn't pass a math portion of it, and a math class that specifically, aside from whatever math you had to take, like say you had to take geometry. So you would have geometry or algebra 2, and you would have another math class which would focus specifically on what part of the FCAT that you failed, so that you could learn how to do that, so that you would be able to pass the test the next time around. I passed every part of it except for one of the English parts of it. And it sucked ass because I got stuck in the remedial English classes all the way through high school, except for my senior year. But I passed it on my very last fucking try. Little did I know I would get another year to try, but that is completely beside the point because someone can't do their fucking job. I like the idea of standardized testing because, like, I have a high school diploma and I worked my fucking ass off for it. Like, against all odds, like, I had to try harder than a lot of people that couldn't pass the FCAT. They got what, I don't know what they call it everywhere else, but what Florida calls a certificate of completion, which basically means they completed every requirement, they just could not pass the FCAT, or at least one portion of the FCAT. I don't feel like that certificate of completion is equivalent to my high school diploma. I was able to bust my ass to get this. They don't deserve to have the same thing I can if they don't apply themselves like I did. Granted, some of them that got certificate of completion are just not mentally capable of it. The people that, didn't apply themselves and they're like, fuck it, I get a certificate of completion, it's like the same thing anyways. I don't like the fact that I can put forth a shitload of effort to get something and they can just skim by and get something that's considered the equivalent. I believe, honestly, unless you have like a medical condition, if you cannot pass the standardized testing, you don't get a diploma. It's that simple, because I should have a leg up on that person in the job market. I mean, I understand all this sounds, it makes me sound like a fucking dick. But just take it into this perspective. Because I have an associate's degree, I should have a leg up on everyone that just has a high school diploma. Everyone that has a bachelor's degree should have a leg up on me because all is an associate's. Everyone that has a master's, so on and so forth, should have a leg up on the people beneath them because they applied themselves harder to get to that point. In all honesty, none of it matters. It really doesn't, because I know so many people that have bachelor's degrees that can't get a job, that you're seeing people with like high school diplomas get them jobs when the person with the associates or bachelor's, in my opinion, is more qualified for the job. And we're getting off onto a completely different topic there. But I'm a supporter of standardized testing, but not in its current state.
Yeah, I'm not saying to get rid of it altogether, but place the emphasis on the kids learning how to do it themselves rather than being forced to memorize a bunch of shit all year long.
I talked about, kids that don't have any sort of diagnosed condition that they should have to, pass these tests or get nothing. Obviously when they get down to the end, like their senior year, and if they have all their credits and they can't pass the test, I think they should have like a grace period. I don't know, give them a couple more tries to pass the fucking test, or they can choose to like opt out and get nothing. There needs to be something in there. But I did say like kids that have diagnosed conditions. I know they had a section of our school in which the kids that had like learning disabilities or mental disability, whatever, if they had that, they had a special part of the school. I hate to use the term special, but a specific part of our school in which they taught. I don't know if they got actual diplomas because I don't even think they took the FCAT, but they may have got certificate of completions. But in their situation, I believe that if they are not mentally capable of passing the FCAT, but they can pass all the rest of the classes that they have to pass, then yes, they should indeed get a diploma. Episode 25 will have the remaining parts of this conversation that you were previously just hearing. But now, for your listening pleasure, I bring you some audio from when we were originally concepting 30 Minutes of Mayhem. Tell me, do you hold stock in, like, Jolly Ranchers and Benadryl?
Wrigley's, actually, and Coca-Cola. That's what my family used to do. That used to be the way to get them.
Do you use Ambien?
There was no Jolly Ranchers back in the day. We also got some pharmaceutical stocks.
Do you have
I
Ambien?
stock in Advanced Auto Parts.
How does Advanced Auto Parts help you land underage bitches, Ryan? I don't understand.
Or when your car breaks down.
You take the muffler.
He's out there to help him.
When their car's like, my car broke down, he's like, that's alright, let me go ahead and take your daughter back to the shop.
No, I'm saying his. He's got to keep his rape van going.
Oh, I got it. I understand. Ryan, that was very, very intelligent, and it went way over my head.
Clever. I like it.
So, and Nick, again, why don't you, well, then let me rephrase the question. Why don't you own stock in Jolly Ranchers, whatever company that is? What company is Jolly Ranchers?
I believe that is Mars.
Hershey.
Hershey owns that?
Hershey?
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
So why don't you have stock in Hershey and Benadryl, whoever makes Benadryl? Why don't you have stock in that? If you're a frequent user, why not have stock in it? Because isn't it really going to pay you back in the end?
In the end, yes. Yes, I'll probably stock up on the Hershey's. I have to remember who does Benadryl.
This is Benadryl.
Tylenol, the people who make Tylenol. It's Johnson & Johnson, so I do have stock in that.
You invested in it because of the no tears, right?
I didn't know it was just for the shampoo. I thought it was for something else.
That baby oil.
They still cry no matter what I do.
Well, that was baby wash.
What?
Yeah, no cry baby wash.
Benadryl is made by McNeil Consumer Healthcare.
Oh,
It's
there we
a
go.
subsidiary of Tylenol.
I'm not even going to fucking pronounce that shit. Antihistamine used for treating various conditions, including allergies.
If this was the 90s, all you need to do is have stock in Beanie Babies and you'd be good to go.
Sure,
I
I still
remember
have a
those.
stock beanie. Well, I mean, I have a stock of Beanie Babies.
Look at that. I'm in an oil company.
How is oil?
Ranch Airplane, is that what I'm understanding?
I'm not understanding how oil is going to help you land the underage girls, Ryan. Like, where are you in this conversation at, man?
No, where it gets you the money. Choose the girls.
Okay, well, I mean,
Go to the ghetto and make it hail. Get them bitches with them quarters.
He's like, I got that oil.
I got that oil. I turn it all into quarters. I'm going to make it hail.
No, a friend of mine, his family owned oil rights and they're rich as shit.
Okay, so they're rich
Talk
as shit.
about landing underage bitch.
Yeah, we're talking about Nick landing underage girls.
And Ryan's like planning out his life. Like,
Asking for stock tips. What's Nick buying? So I know what to buy.
So,
Wait.
again, I don't understand, Ryan. How does investing in the oil companies help Nick land underage girls?
oh, I don't know that. Traveling around.
Okay, well, how does it help you land underage girls then? I don't understand.
Because then I could buy a Lambo and then I could pull up and the girls want to get in and be like, yeah, let's party.
When they're like between 5 and 12, they don't care about a Lamborghini. They care about fucking My Little Pony and sandboxes and shit.
Dude, I
You're talking about the wrong generation there, buddy. That's not the 90s anymore.
will ride up on a horse with its hair dyed like Rainbow Dash. Oh, yeah.
See, a horse, that would probably...
I'll give it a lick. It tastes like candy. Your pickup line would be like, do you want to ride my unicorn?
And they'll be like, I don't see a horn on it. And you'll be like, it's in my pants.
We're really messed up people, aren't we?
Well, see, the thing is, I'm joking, Larry's joking, Dale's joking.
Ryan's kind of confused and Nick is serious.
Yeah, Ryan's about what's going on, and Nick is dead ass.
Ryan, I'll take you out sometime. We'll go touring some playgrounds.
Oh, God. Show him how it's done.
Teach them how to be the big dog.
Hey, Ryan, we went to Biggins, and Larry and I drove by you while you were walking down the road, and we told you we were going to the strip club as we drove by.
Oh, yeah.
And you were standing there with your arms open screaming at us as we drove by.
Yeah.
And then when you found out we were going to the strip club, you were devastated.
So you pretty much just like rubbed it in his face.
No, we drove by and he was like, hey, we're going to the strip club, and he's like, what the fuck? He's standing on the side like screaming at us, his arms are out like he's praising the Lord. And He's so, like, upset that we're driving by and he's not going. Did we end up coming back and getting you? I don't remember.
Yeah, you did. You turned around and got me.
And then I got pulled over for touching the yellow line.
Oh, yeah.
And then the entire time, I was like, oh my god.
Ryan, whatever you're doing is causing feedback.
I'm just sitting in a room.
Is it Pat's room?
No, it's actually, it's a room, but it's echo.
Go on.
It's echo, like an empty room kind of deal.
He's going to pay for you to move up. You're going to move in downstairs across the hall from him, and you guys will share the same bathroom. You will share the same common room. You will share the same girls, and he will train you. Are you down with fucking a girl?
What kind of girls is he into?
Like, are you down with fucking a girl at the same time that Nick fucks a girl? Like the same girl, or do you gotta have your own girl? Like,
It's called bucksawing, thank you very much. And it's a technique, because you have to make sure the balls swing just right so they don't touch
Are we
each other.
talking about a DP?
Yes.
Hey, maybe Steve and Chris want the balls to touch. You don't know this yet.
So you guys are gonna Eiffel Tower a bitch, or what? Like, I'm not getting, like, is that the plan?
I've already done that, so it's all good.
Well, you haven't done it with Nick. There's two different things there.
Oh, well.
So Ryan, do you want to be Nick's pupil?
It's all good.
All right, Nick, you put it in the works. Put it in the works. We're gonna move Ryan up here, and we're gonna move him into your basement.
I'll have to have Ron move some assets around, but I should be able to come up with cash.
You got that much bread?
Dude, have you ever watched any of our videos that are filmed at his house? Have you seen what his house looks like? He's got that.
No. Oh.
He's got that bread.
Yeah, he's got a nice house. I've seen it.
But in all seriousness, Nick, put it into the works. Let's get Ryan up here. We're moving him into your basement. You will train him.
My shoulder's here if you need to cry on it. It's okay, big boy.
You smell good.
I swear to God, I live in your basement and I hear you crying like that. I'm gonna come in and smack you around like a little girl.
He likes smacking around.
It's okay, Nick. Here, take this Jolly Rancher.
If you spit on me too, that help.
I'm gonna shave all your hair off while you're sleeping.
I'll have to kick your ass.
I'm gonna shit under your pillow so that way whenever you gotta flip it to the cool side, you get annihilated.
Oh, shit.
I'll just rub jelly on your face. It'll make it all better.
Did Larry already hang up to go poop? Larry, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you poop yourself yet? Or I think you would hang up on us before you'd poop yourself.
He's probably
He's
doing it
probably
right
sitting
now.
on the toilet right now.
He's turtle head. He's prairie dogging right now.
Are you shitting as you speak to us?
Yes, I am. Just kind of relaxing flow.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like a chocolate waterfall.
Oh, come on, dude.
Somebody get a fucking cone and catch it.
Just open your mouth, Ryan.
Wow.
Just open your mouth.
Your mouth is the cone.
Hang on.
What you just
And this has been another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I have been your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I have been here with my co-hosts.
Greg.
Dale.
Raven.
Don't forget to check us out on iTunes, PayPal, donate. Raven needs a new mic. And Instagram, don't pretend like you don't surf it and double-click pictures of really hot chicks with tattoos, and then like all of a sudden you scroll across the picture of a puppy and then you double-click it as well because, you know, when people go through that feed and they can see what you like, you don't want it to just be like hot-ass tattooed half-naked chicks. So you like, you know, double them shit just so that, you know, you don't look like a complete creep. While you're doing that, check out Poking the Fungus Photography on that their Instagram. And thank you for listening. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and later, fellas.